Hi, I'm Paul Brodie. Welcome to my shop. Man behind the camera, that would be Mitch. And we're going to talk about cylinder head fixturing today. I have 4 cylinder heads here, and they all seem to have a problem with the exhaust port. So I would say this is one of the weak spots of the engine. This is the exhaust stub, I would call it. It's probably a proper name. This is what goes into the exhaust port. And then the header pipe, well, even that's not a very good fit there. This head here was in the shed. Can you see how this just falls in? So all the threads have gone. So anyway, it's got a lot of broken fins everywhere. It's in pretty rough shape. Then there's this one here. You can see that this is stock. Someone's done something here. I don't know what they've done, but if I put in a square there, can you see how it's at an angle anyway? So that's a pretty rough modification. This one here, this is the head that was on the engine. It's been fixed, and I don't like that it's aluminum because the exhaust has to clamp onto that, and the exhaust is going to be a harder metal than the soft aluminum. So when there's the vibration of the motor and the bike running, this exhaust pipe is going to wear into this. So don't really like that as a fix. And also I noticed this is a stock pipe. Can you see how, I don't know how that would ever clamp. It's got a really short slot as well. So you'd have to put in a shim or something like that. And here's the square head, and it's been welded up, and it's not quite round. There's a little flat spot right there, but we're going to make up a fixture to hold this in the lathe, and then I'm going to machine this and cut it. Well, it all depends how much metal is left in there. What I need to do is to make an oversized insert like this so that it threads in and it never comes out. So that's going to be our job for today. I've made fixtures previously. We did a segment on Excelsior. This is an Excelsior head, and I made up a fixture. Can you see how that bolts on? Mitch is going to show you what it looks like when it's in the lathe. Can you see how it gets held in the chuck here? And this is, well, it's the inlet port here. This inlet port is right in line with this. Sometimes you need to hold this in a 4-jaw chuck, and you have to dial in. It's pretty hard to dial that in, but you just take an average of what you got. So anyway, I have made other fixtures, so we're going to make a fixture for a tiger cub head. This is the oval head. This is the square head. Can you see how much larger it is here? This is much better for cooling. So oval head, square head. I've got metal here. I looked around my shop, and I think I can make an oversized. Can you see how this is a bit bigger? I think I can make an oversized insert out of this. This is seamless tubing. It's DOM. And this is the part that's going to get held into the chuck. And then I got some flat bar here, and there's going to be a shelf that comes out, and the head is going to mount onto that. Maybe we need a reinforcement, stop it flexing a little bit. And I got a couple Allen screws. You can only hold this on one side basically, because I can't put an Allen, well, actually I can. Well, anyway, I got some Allen screws. This is what's going to hold the head onto the plate. So the first thing we need to do is to make this hole round. I'm just going to use a spiral roll and my die grinder, and we're going to put an inch bar into there. You'll see why. Oh, there he goes. Okay, we're in. It doesn't have that much rock. All right, we're gonna go with that. So that's what we end up with. Inch, half inch. Can you see what's going on here now? So what this does is it's holding the head where I want it to be held. And now I have to make up whatever is gonna hold this. No drawing, no sketch. We're just going to make it. So the next thing we'll do is to put that other piece of round stock in here, and we'll face off the end, and then we'll figure out how the plate goes on, and we have to drill some holes so that we can attach the head onto the plate. It's got a little bit of wiggle, but not too bad. This is part of an old fixture somewhere. So you can see what's happening here. Even though this has some size to it, this plate here is only hitting maybe like half the thickness. So what we need to do, I think, is to take a piece of this plate and to weld it on here so that it sticks up, so that it becomes proud of the head, and then we can get a weld all the way around. So I think that's the first thing we'll do. We'll find a piece we can weld onto this. And we might have to make some sort of a counterweight or something. I don't know yet. So we'll just figure it out as we go. I've got a C-clamp holding it down because if I put on a tack, even though it's heavier metal, it can still lift up. So I'm going to tack it in 3 spots and then do a little welding. Okay, we're welded. I'm leaving a little bit of room in between the fin. Can't get too close. So this is going to go something like that. And then we want to have this out to here, basically. So we're going to make a cut. We'll cut right there. And I'm going to put it almost up to the top. Not quite, but almost up to the top there. See that? There's still a little bit of play there. I'm going to do some welding along here, a stitch welding it's called. I don't need to weld the whole thing, but I'm just going to weld a little bit. And then when I weld here, depending on how much I weld, hopefully it pulls it back. So let's see what happens here. I think it's pretty good. I think there's a tiny little gap at the bottom, but it's good for. I want to clamp this head down onto the plate, and then I can go off to the drill press, and then I use these two holes here, and that's where I mark where the Allen screws go. See this little thing? I'm going to use this as a scriber. It's out of a dental office, and I'm going to make a mark all around here that hopefully I can see. Here's my drill. And can you see what's going to happen? I can only hold it right here. There's no other, if the chuck goes down anymore, it's going to hit. So let's go see if this will work. And we have two holes marked. So let's take this off and drill them and tap them, and then see how the head fits on. Okay. I'm eyeballing here. We need a right angle both ways, so looks pretty good to me. I got my spiral flute tap. That means I can just go straight down and I don't have to back and forth, back and forth. Okay. Okay, so let's see if we have success here. Okay, that's pretty tight. So let's put this back in the lathe now. I know this is going to be out, but let's just put it back in the lathe. And then I think next episode we're going to fix this up and we'll dial it in on the 4-jaw. How about that? But we'll just put it in the 3-jaw right now and see what's up. See what's happening? It's definitely out, but that's okay, because if this goes into a 4-jaw, that all changes. It's basically heading the right way. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch it on and just see if it's out of balance. Won't go super fast. Ooh. Did you catch that? So what we have to do is we have to weld on something here and have a counterweight. That's what we need. We need a counterweight now. So work on that. For our episode of head fixturing, we are out of time. But thanks for watching. If you need some merchandise, this is the promo code. It's 20% off. I'm placing my order. I'm going to get some t-shirts and some mugs. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.